So these are your introductory notes to DNA. The date these were initially given was September 25th. So deoxyribonucleic acid is what DNA stands for, and it is the genetic material inside our cells. Remember, at any point in time, you can pause, rewind these notes, so if I'm going too fast, feel free to just pause me. Do all organisms use DNA as their genetic material is the question? Most people think that they do. However, there are organisms that use RNA as their main source of genetic material. Retroviruses, which is how you classify HIV, use RNA as their genetic material. RNA is ribonucleic acid, and it differs from DNA simply because it has a different sugar, and the sugar is almost indistinguishable from DNA. It's just missing one oxygen. So ribonucleic acid has the full complement of oxygens. Deoxy means an oxygen has been removed from that ribonucleic acid. So really similar, not quite the same. The components of DNA, there are three. There are nitrogenous bases. There are actually 4 different nitrogenous bases. Those 4 different bases are broken up into 2 categories. There are pyrimidines. Pyrimidines consist of the base cytosine and the base thymine, and they have a single nitrogen ring. And then there are purines. Purines consist of guanine and adenine, and they have 2 rings. So the pyrimidines are single-ringed bases, and the purines are double-ringed bases. The next component is the deoxyribose sugar, and it's a part of the backbone. Phosphate is also a part of the backbone. The deoxyribose sugar looks like this. If I were to make this ribose sugar, all I would have to do is add a single oxygen here. This is ribose sugar. This is deoxyribose sugar. Ribose, deoxyribose. So they're incredibly similar in structure. They're just missing one oxygen, which actually changes the chemical makeup enough where they behave differently. Then there's the phosphate backbone. Phosphate is a polyatomic ion. So it exists in a state where it has extra electrons, which makes it really good for bonding to this phosphate sugar backbone. So phosphorus, has 5 valence electrons. There are 4 oxygens. Each of them have 6 valence electrons because they are in group 6. We'll form those bonds. Phosphorus, you'll notice, has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 valence electrons around it. That's fine. Phosphorus can break the octet rule. You'll notice this oxygen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's happy. This oxygen only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are not happy. Fortunately, this -3 means there's 3 extra electrons. I know just where to put those 3 extra electrons. I'll put 1 there. I'll put 1 there. And I'll put 1 there. And now those oxygens are all happy. These 2 combine to make the backbone for all ribonucleic acids. And the backbone is this portion here. When you think about DNA and you look at that, the DNA backbone is what all of the bases are attached to. And then, to make it look like DNA, we'll add those bases that bond to each other and form those sort of cross bridges. So that is the DNA backbone and the 4 bases. Lastly, we have Chargaff's rule. Chargaff's rule tells us that there are different numbers of purines and different numbers of pyrimidines, but always the same number of adenines and thymines and cytosines and guanines. That means that adenine is always equal to thymine, cytosine is always equal to guanine. Therefore, adenine bonds to thymine and cytosine bonds to guanine. The way you can remember that they are linked together is that all tigers can growl. So A and T are linked together always. C and G are linked together always. All right, those are the introductory notes. Come in if you have any questions.